All right, guys. Hey, sorry for the long wait. It's been a hot minute, but I finally finished school, my summer semester, so I have a couple weeks of summer that I can enjoy. I went to some cons a couple weeks ago and got some cool stuff, so we're gonna check that out. And yeah, so as you can see, up front we got a lot of Godzilla stuff. I went to Anime Matsuri and Comic Palooza with a friend, and at both those conventions, I basically found a lot of Godzilla stuff. At Anime Matsuri, I managed to meet some famous Godzilla people, such as Kaylee Hottle, who was from Godzilla vs Kong. She was the little girl who's sign language. I met T.J. Storm, who did the mocap for Godzilla. In fact, I even got two of his autographs. This one from like my old SH Monster Arts Godzilla from King of the Monsters. Sorry for the glare, but yeah, I put him back in the box and I got him to sign it, and he was really awesome. It was really cool speaking to him, and it was really awesome to meet him. And then I also met D-Man 1954, who, if anyone is familiar with him, he has his own Godzilla channel where he did like news and updates, reviews, and all that stuff. And it was really cool meeting him. It's just really awesome. So Anime Matsuri was definitely a blast for me, and then Comic Palooza. So basically, the Ghidorah I got at the Godzilla store. I found Kong, and then I got some cool little prints here and there. So like I got these stickers, which this is like a little Godzilla sticker of Godzilla eating a taco. And then here's one that I really liked. It's just kind of funny. I just really liked it. This is Godzilla like reminds me like a Ninja Turtle or something like that, just like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. But like as like Godzilla. Um, and I also found and then yeah, like I said, I just got some. I got those. I got the autographs. You can see actually back there. I got the first autograph I got from T.J. Storm. I got it framed, so it's just sitting there in front of my desk. And at Comic Palooza, I found this guy, and I got the Kong for $80. I think it was closer to 90 with tax, but it was like $80. The Ghidorah was 40 from the Godzilla store, and then at Comic Palooza, I managed to find this guy for 100. I probably could have tried to go a little lower, but they gave me this one for 100, mainly because the box is a little bent, which a little upsetting, but it's whatever. And then I managed to find Mecha Godzilla for $40 as well. So a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, pretty expensive, but it's especially when they're like right there. It's like how can you not get them? And then in the back, these are actually from my local Think Geek. I managed to find the Justice League McFarlane toys, Steppenwolf, Aquaman, and Cyborg. They had Batman and Flash, but at the time I didn't get them. I just got Steppenwolf, and when I went to go get them, they were out. And so yeah, sadly, it seems like my Think Geek. I don't know if it's every Think Geek store, if it's just my store nearby, is sadly going out of business or is like closing. So I probably won't be able to check there for action figures anymore. But hopefully Walmart and Target step up their game and put these guys on the shelves. But regardless, sorry for the long intro. There's a lot to say, and so let's go ahead and get right to it. Alright, so I figured that the first set of figures we look at are the Mcfarlane Justice League figures. Just because these are the ones that I did not get at the convention, like I said. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's just look at Aquaman first. And as you can see, one of the critiques that I've seen over and over is that the likeness to Jason Momoa is not there, and having him in hand, it's definitely not a great head sculpt. I mean, you look at it from far away and you're like, yeah, I can kind of see that's the Jason Momoa Aquaman, but I mean, it's just very, I don't know. I will say in the pictures his head looked really tiny, but in person it doesn't look so bad as far like it looks proportional enough. The weathering and texture, it's hard to pick up, but like it's really good. I love the way they they painted this, the way that it looks like oxidized metal or something like that, or not even like it's like copper that's been like when copper turns from like the green to like the I don't know like that brownish tin can color. That I mean that's what it looks like. I think they captured that look really good. Or not. I'm sorry, not. It starts off as the tin can color, but then it becomes green, and that's what it looks like is happening right here. The staff, or not the staff, the I don't even know what you call it, the quintet or whatever, the 5 prong trident. It's not my favorite. For one thing, it's that super pliable, bendy material that McFarlane's using, and it just, I mean, thankfully, unlike Shao Kahn, the Aquaman's, I don't even know, trident thing isn't like warping too much. But as it's still one of those things where I'm just not a fan of the material. It feels like it just like it'll just bend at random, and you have no control over that. But with that said, I mean, the articulation, it's actually really good. There's a weird bicep cut right here, but I'm only assuming that's because the way the shoulders are positioned. It just I don't know, maybe they weren't able to do it. But the articulation, one thing I'm liking about McFarlane's action figures, from like Mortal Kombat to these, is this I don't even know like this butterfly joint that's given to them. It just creates a really fluid sense of motion for the shoulder joints, and it's really good. Like I said, painting and sculpting is great. Accuracy is not 100% there, but the armor, it looks pretty darn good. Articulation, it's a McFarlane figure and it works really well. Definitely not my favorite of the Justice League set, but you know what? It's still a really cool figure. Now moving on, let's get in Cyborg. And now this one I actually really like. For one thing, the likeness to Ray Fisher I think is actually spot on. It could just be because half his face is missing, so I don't know. But just looking at it, it feels like they did a much better job bringing his likeness to the figure. And one thing I really liked about this is the sculpting and the articulation is amazing. I love the way this guy moves. And again, like I said, that weird butterfly joint they give him, it just adds, especially on this figure, and the way the shoulder pads are able to bend and move in a way that looks natural, and you can put them down and they don't stick out like a sore thumb. This figure's awesome with the articulation. Like this is one of my favorite articulated McFarlane figures, especially for the Justice League line. The way they implemented the joints from the actual design from the movie into like figure articulation, it's seamless. It looks great. I'm really digging this figure. I found myself playing with this one the most just because he's just the most fun to like move around and just move the joints. Now he does come with an accessory, so you take off this left arm, and you can actually put on his, I don't even know what you call it, just his gun, his beam cannon, whatever. And yeah, there you go. He has his beam cannon from the movie. No effect parts, but it's I think I like it without the because actually bringing in some size comparisons. So here we have the cyborg figure that I checked out a while ago, and just look at the difference in design. I mean, definitely get why people were a little like jarred from looking at this guy, because it's such a departure from what people were used to growing up, which like especially for me was like this guy, so definitely crazy. But as you can see, they gave Cyborg here like beam particle effect, a beam effect, and it's cool, but you can't take it off, so it's just kind of stuck there. Where here it's like he doesn't have a beam effect, but at least like shelf wise you can put him somewhere, and he can like lower his arm. Because if you lower his arm like this, it looks like he's shooting the floor. So he always has to be like this in order for it to make sense. So not the best, but still works. And actually bringing in another figure, because I thought this would be a good comparison. We got Wonder Woman, and I think that this is just again like really cool. Obviously, it doesn't fit too well because this is the '84 design, so it's a lot brighter, more colorful compared to Zack Snyder's more mute and more drab colors. But again, I mean, just looking at the way Cyborg is, like, even like the painting, I just love the way like even though it's so dark gray, it really does nothing does it justice. Like the way it looks in real life is great. I love the way that the light, it just captures the light and it looks like realistic metal. The dry brushing and washes that they put on this thing is great. The only thing I'd say is a little bit of a messy is this paint, and I get what they were trying to go for. They're trying to make a glowing effect, but it's not my favorite. Not crazy about it. Now, putting these guys to the side, let's look at the big baddie himself, Steppenwolf. And as you can see, I put him on a stand because, even though he can actually stand on his own, I don't want to take the chance, so I just left him on the DC stand. But I really like this. Now, the only problem is that my figure, the shoulder right here, doesn't want to, like you can see right here, articulation wise, it's supposed to do this, go up and down. However, this arm can't do that, and I don't want to pressure it because if it breaks, well, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to suck it up because so far Steppenwolf and apparently Steppenwolf and Darkseid are really hard to find. These guys in general are hard to find. I only saw them once, and then after that, like I couldn't find Batman or Flash anymore, so that's a bit disappointing. But again, I mean, I'm just repeating myself. I mean, like the sculpting and detail, the painting, it's all really good. I wish the face was a little brighter, but man, like Steppenwolf was probably like one of my favorite improvements about the movie. His design and his character in general. I mean, it's nothing like he's not Thanos or anything like that. But man, like I was really surprised by how much like character they kind of gave him for like the little bit of time he was in the movie. It was one of those kind of villains where like he's threatening and scary, but you also kind of in a way want to secretly root for him just because he like you get the feeling that he did something and he messed up and he even says all he wants to do is go home. So there's a bit of like empathy for the character. But yeah, I mean even like the axe, it looks great. I mean just all the details and everything. I just love how alien this looks. I know a lot of people weren't crazy about it because it looks too alien, whereas the original design for Steppenwolf, he looked more like a human with medieval armor. I mean, to each their own. I know a lot of people prefer that look. I honestly think that this looks awesome, and this is like again one of my favorite things about Zack Snyder's Justice League was just this design. It was a really cool improvement. I love the way his like armor shifted around, and the figure, the articulation. It's not as good as these two, but you're able to do enough, and I don't know, just it's a solid figure. But yeah, so I'm already kind of rambling on. So let's go ahead and move on to the next figures. All right, and so here we have Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla from the MonsterVerse movies. So, like I said, this is the Godzilla store exclusive for Ghidorah over here, so that's why he has like the extra paint and everything. Like I said, it was $40, and I mean it's a cool figure. I'm not sure if I'm like vastly in love with it, but I mean, I just kept telling myself like, man, I really want a MonsterVerse Ghidorah figure, and you can't find any, you know. Like I've tried looking for the monster arts, and unless I want to pay like, good lord, almost like $600 for it, I have to go to eBay, which is ridiculous. But other than that, they're like nowhere, and it's a shame because even though I've heard a lot of complaints about that Ghidorah figure, it's like, man, there isn't any other articulation figure that goes well with the 6-inch Godzilla figures. So this is, it's like, all right, well, I guess I'll just stick with this. And sadly, this isn't in scale. I don't even think it's in scale with the Bandai figure. But with that said, I mean, the detailing and all that, I mean, there's definitely plenty of detail. I love the way the wings have like the little creases and folds and stuff. Um, as you can see, like everyone's pointing out, he does have the mane, which was something that wasn't present in the final design. Which I know a lot of people really prefer the mane look. I'm not that crazy about it personally. I know that's I don't know, but like it's just not a look that I'm that crazy about. I think he looks cooler without the mane. But that's just me. I mean, I don't know. It seemed like they definitely were thinking about putting it in there. It was a lot in a lot of the concept designs and even in this. But again, I'm glad that they left it out. Regardless, other than that, and like maybe this thumb thing right here, it's still a pretty accurate figure to the movie design. And I just love seeing all the like little details that I never got to see in the movie, like especially like the back spikes right here and everything. No articulation whatsoever. The painting, it's okay. There's some good like detailing here and there with that the paint brings out, but other than that, I mean, it's mostly a flat yellow, or a yellow ochre or whatever, but it's still good. But yeah, and so bringing in the next figure, we have Mecha Godzilla, and this was a cool guy to see in Godzilla versus Kong. I'm really glad the way they did justice for him. Like he felt really powerful, and so it was just really cool seeing Mecha Godzilla like done with like really good special effects, like or at least CGI effects. Again, the detailing and everything, it's good. I don't know if it's as accurate as the Playmates figures in the movie, but there are details that are missing on the Playmates figures, such as like these pistons and whatnot. But I mean, and I think proportion wise, this is a lot better because, or at least it looks more reminiscent from the movie, especially like with the head is concerned. And speaking with Playmates, as you can see, like putting them on a side by side. So I believe, yeah, it looks like yeah, definitely the Bandai's a bit taller. But you can see what I'm saying. Like the head for the Playmates is like really big. But even then, like there's still some like sharper details that I think the Bandai figure had to kind of like smooth out. Like you can see with the tail, especially how like on the Playmates it looks more skeletal, where on Bandai it looks more like just like a tail. You know. But yeah, I mean, really good detail. There is thankfully some articulation where he can go like this, he can go like that. Painting is definitely really good, even though it's just all a silver. It's a very nice shiny gunmetal silver, so it really picks up the detail when the light shines on it. But yeah, not much to say here, but just overall some pretty cool looking figures. Really glad I got these, and yes, I'm definitely keeping the tags on. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, and real quick, I just wanted to show that as you can see, if you see, I think you have already noticed by now, but there's my signed autograph by TJ Storm. Like I said, I got it framed. I was very happy to get an autograph from him. He's very, like I was saying earlier, he's a really nice guy. It was really awesome to meet, got the guy who mocap Godzilla. So, and just to show off again, because I'm very proud of this one. Like I showed earlier, I got him to sign my SH Monster Arts King of the Monsters figure. So that was really awesome. He was really excited to see it. Very really excited to sign it. Just like I said, overall, I just was very excited and happy to meet the guy, and I was, it's nice. He's just a very nice guy. But yeah, moving on with the figures. All right, so here we have Kong or Godzilla and Kong, and I'm gonna show off the Kong figure first. But yeah, I mean, I have him in like the like when he's about to kill Mecha Godzilla with the bah, with the swing. This guy is extremely articulated. It's actually crazy how articulated he is. In fact, I was playing with him a lot just because of how many poses you can get him into. I don't know if I'm gonna really, show you that much. I mean, you can see like he can do the gorilla stance. He can do a lot of things. It's just really cool. He can hold the axe. Again, one of the things that people complain about this figure, it was the accuracy. Some people were pointing out how like the Kong doesn't really like the face doesn't really look that accurate to the movie, and I mean I can kind of see it. Also, one thing that this figure has, I'm going to pop off his head, but as you can see, his eyes pop out, so that's not very cool. But I'm sure that's something I could probably fix with like super glue or something. But it's just a weird thing that like it came, the eyes came in loose, but they pop right back in. But I'm gonna put that on his other face, and as you see, I mean, even this, like people were saying, it didn't look the most accurate. It was a little weird looking. Some people were saying it was like sunken in face. Like I said, I can see it, but it doesn't really bother me too much. The one thing that does bother me is that in the movie, Kong's arms were like really big. Like they were like to his like shins or something, like, or like at least below his knees. And in here they look more like human proportioned. So that's something that I don't know if they really captured that well. But it's just a small complaint. Like I said, the articulation is great. The axe looks amazing. You know, I mean, I don't know. I really like the way the figure came out. You know, I guess I should have left his other head on, but yeah, no, it's the detailing and everything. It's pretty good. I mean, it is the face is a little dark, but I don't know. Like I saw some people really like hitting on this figure, like hating on this figure, and I don't know. I don't really think it's that. I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's a really good figure. I can see where it misses the mark for some people, but for me, it gets the point across that like yeah, this is definitely the GVK Kong. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't really have much negative to say, and I mean the positives for me, like they're. I mean, just I love how articulate this guy is. Um, but I guess moving on to Godzilla, now something I definitely want to give praise for to this figure is that it is like I feel like I can actually move this guy a lot better than the previous version, which I just saw as the one that I just pulled out, the King of the Monsters. I remember getting that figure, and I don't think I said it when I first unboxed it, but something I noticed is that a lot of the joints were stiff, and there's some parts like the tail kept popping off, and as you can see right here, tail doesn't pop off. I'm able to move it a little better. It's still, if for some reason it still doesn't want to go too far this way, but it will definitely curve this way. The my legs or the this part right here used to pop off a lot, and I don't know, just it feels like I can move him a lot better. And I don't know if that's just cause I don't know, maybe I just got a better copy, I got a little luckier, or if like Tamashi Nations or Bandai or whatever really made improvements. But overall, I really like how I can really move this guy. Now I will say I don't know why they did this, but I do notice that the head is a lot smaller. Because before you used to put this like little flap over and it would look natural, but here it feels like he's wearing like a turtleneck or something, and that's the only thing I feel like they kind of messed up on. Like if you're gonna give him a smaller head, change the neck or something, change it so that it actually looks natural, and instead it looks a little artificial. Look, I don't know. It looks weird. It looks like he just has this shrunken head. But I mean, even the pain in the mouth doesn't actually bother me that bad. I thought it was going to because of what I saw in the pictures, but having him in hand, I mean, the pain in the mouth, it doesn't bother me. And the blue dorsal plates, it really helps him stick out so he doesn't just like fall, in the background. And I also like that the brown is a lot more prominent. I wish it was more prominent right here, but it's very prominent throughout this part, and it looks really cool. Um, and I mean, yeah, I mean, other than that, I think this is about the same figure as the 2019, just the the more improved articulation, different head, and new color scheme. Now he does come with like regular hands. Don't think I'm gonna put these on because I actually do kind of like the sprawling hands a little more. Like I feel like he's more expressive now, but I do like that they gave the option at least for relaxed hands. It's really cool. But yeah, just overall, I mean, these two, even though I had to pay a lot extra for these guys, I am glad I was able to get them. They're really cool figures. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but I'm definitely thinking about getting that Mecha Godzilla. It's expensive, and people are buying them up. But I think I found a place where I can pre-order him, and I think I might place one as soon as I get the money because he looks really good. But yeah, just some quick comparisons. I thought I'd bring out the 2014 Godzillas. And as you can see, that's the old. This is the new re-release, and I mean, it's just funny going back and seeing how different Godzilla. At least I mean, not that different, but still, it's just funny seeing the different like dorsal plates and all that. And then let's take that out and let's bring in the Burning Godzilla. And you can just see how like NECA's different approach to this design. And I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of people gave NECA some crap for this figure, specifically like the standard release. And I don't know. I really liked what NECA did. Definitely, like there was things they could have improved on, like the plates were a little too scrunched in and stuff, and the articulation wasn't the best. But overall, I mean, I think that when the original figure came out, it was a really cool Godzilla figure. And I don't know. I think it was just one of those things where like both NECA and SH Monster Arts had a really good version of this Godzilla. So, but I don't know. Besides that, let's just go ahead and get these out of here. Yeah, that's about it. Um, like I said, like 20 times overall, I really like these figures. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, here we have all the figures all lined up, and I want to thank y'all for watching this. If you want to follow my Instagram, Giovanni Arts and Collectibles, there I post pictures of my, like I said, my collections, my figures, everything in between, my hobbies, and so yeah, just like I said, thank y'all for watching, and yeah, have a great day.